From the deep, we are back in action with the boys. We're missing Sir Michael Clark, but we have everyone else in the house. We got Coach Keegan Lowe, we got Eric Wheelin and Dealin Wheeler, and then we got the Genius TJ Stancliff, and we're out here ready to ball out, ready to talk just a little bit of college football. We had a free weekend last weekend, no stress, everything kind of the dust settled. Sharon Moore went ape shit. Confessions by Usher, that's wild. Love the video of him sitting there in the cell too, just sitting there. It's just, that man had more tears for beating Ohio State calling out fucking Coach Harbaugh than he had tears of remorse in that situation. That's wild. But we are not in a jail cell. We are in our comfy home, sitting in the warmth because that's what good people do. And we're ready to talk some football. NFL is also getting wild with just everything. I mean, we got teams getting eliminated. We got Pat Mahomes fucking his leg up. We'll get into that. But first, random question for everybody up in the house. We just had the Heisman, y'all. And honestly, it was the most underwhelming experience I've ever seen. I like a good old-fashioned award ceremony that's kind of boring. I'm down with it. I like the music. Like, give me a live orchestra if you got to. Like, I want the whole thing. I want claps. I want dresses. I want suits. But that shit sucks. And the stats, like, I wish they would have just focused more on the moments, because every time they showed stats, I was like, get that shit off the screen. Just focus on the moments here. This is a moment season. This wasn't a stat season. And could you imagine being someone from a random school with like better stats than that? Like, we'll talk about North Texas quarterback. Like, that's just wild. But before we go and get into that, it's just wild. So you guys want to give your Heisman thoughts in a second. But first, your least favorite Heisman of all time. I'd even count like a class as well. Like, this class sucked. Like, I think if anybody said this is my least favorite Heisman situation, I'd agree. But also your favorite Heisman. This can be during our lifetime or before our lifetime. Just ones that you remember, ones that stick out, and just ones, we were kids, and I feel like it was such a big deal. I'll start with Keegan, because I know Keegan and me followed the Heisman a lot as young kids. Keegan, your favorite Heisman and least favorite?
Um, this is kind of easy one, little layup right here, but I got to go with this season as the least favorite. I mean, it just hasn't been that exciting. It really hasn't. And it's been all over the place. I thought, to be honest, like from the start of the year, that Love was going to walk away with it. But man, it's just such an up and down season. I don't, what's the kid's name who ended up winning? Mendoza. I don't hate the kid Mendoza. I do think it's deserved. Like, I think he ended up deserving it, but it's just such a weird Heisman way, man. I did not really like this year. But I'll be honest, every other Heisman before, I fucking love the way the Heisman has always played out before. But my favorite one of all time that I got to go with is when Mark Ingram won it. Man, that year when I was watching Alabama come up on the come up, and they start having the dynasty. That was the start of the dynasty. That was so crazy, man. Watching Mark Ingram, number 22 at the time, freaking ball out. And then they just kept having great running back after great running back after that. That was so freaking fun to watch that season and see that get started.
I knew that was your pick. You're an easy one for me. Like, I knew it. Like, when he said layup, I'm like, it's not even my layup. This is the layup for everybody. My layup's the next one. This kid loved Mark Ingram. And I agree with that. Like, he just stuck as a Heisman winner. It was such an explosive moment. And no one's better than the OG. I know Derrick Henry and all of them were killers, but Mark Ingram is just, you gotta watch how he played. The old Revo helmet, too. We thought that shit was slick. Big shoulder pads. They didn't hide from the shoulder pads like they do now. Going off of that, TJ, I feel like you got some electricity with something like this. Some Heismans to stick out to. You guys are allowed to be homers, too. You got some Heisman winners in your lifetime. I don't. You do. I don't.
Look, man. To be honest, favorite Heisman, least favorite Heisman, I have two very unpopular picks. For my favorite Heisman, I'm going to go 2005 Reggie Bush for my favorite Heisman winner ever. That was when kind of when my football mind started forming a little bit. And USC at that time was primetime TV. I mean, 2,200 yards from scrimmage. He was damn near averaging 10 yards a play. And then that Heisman class was awesome. Anyway, Vince Young, Matt Leinart, also in the class, and Reggie taking the trophy. So that might be unpopular. I know Reggie's a hot topic around these parts. And then honestly, my least favorite Heisman, 2009, Mark Ingram. And the reason I say that is because I vividly remember being as into football as I've been in my entire life in 09, 10, 11, 12, like around 5th, 6th, 7th grade. Ndamukong Suh is one of the best football players I've ever seen. That season was as good as a college football player has ever been, in my opinion, for Ndamukong Suh. And I think if the trophy wasn't so politicized, I think Suh deserved to take it.
There was also a running back at Stanford that year that had like 2,000 rushing yards and like 28 touchdowns that season too. I'm not
Toby
comparing.
Gerhardt.
Oh,
Yeah,
Gerhard,
I'm
baby.
not comparing Stanford to Bama, but I'm just when you guys were talking about Mark Ingram because I wrote that one down because I thought that was interesting.
That still makes it my favorite. Freaking underdog Heisman, dude. Pulling away from everybody.
Dogged. That's back when that was good. That's when you had multiple running backs too, like at a time, and different like type of wide receivers. You just don't see that as much anymore. It's such a quarterback award. You know, I was thinking about like even what was Devontae Smith from Alabama was the last one to like non-quarterback to win it, I think, or I
Yeah,
could be wrong.
I
Yeah, I
think
mean
you're right.
Travis Hunter,
Well,
of
Travis
course.
Hunter,
Yeah, but
yeah.
like his has such an asterisk to it that damn near, I don't know. Even though it's a good thing, he earned it. Eric, man, which one? Favorite, least favorite? I like the least favorite take for TJ of like just someone else deserved it that year. Like, you know, that happens so much. Some of our favorites don't win it. Some guys, if you look back, it's shocking that they didn't win it. Like you just think they
Mhm.
already did. What about you, Eric?
So my favorite Heisman, I kind of have. I guess I have a favorite Heisman class and a favorite Heisman. My favorite Heisman will always be Cam Newton because I've never had that much fun watching a player that wasn't on my own team. Like truthfully, ever. And you guys all know at this point I'm a pretty big Cam. I've always been a big Cam Newton fan, especially when he's at Auburn. And you're talking about impressive, just like no NFL talent on that team outside of him. Like I think that team literally took 3 snaps offensively in the NFL outside of him, or something crazy like that. Like not even offensive line made it. Nobody. And then my least favorite one, I really it was really tough for me to pick one that I couldn't pick one that like I remembered that was like undeserving. I wrote down Jabril Peppers the year he went because I thought that was crazy when he went. He had like 2 picks and 4 sacks and like
Yeah.
2 touchdowns on offense, and he got invited to the fucking ceremony. Like get fucked. And then my favorite class overall, I was looking at like the old ones, some fun old ones. The 1997 Heisman class was fucking stupid. That's the year Charles Woodson won it, who also did that, a little bit of offense, a little bit of defense, even though his offensive stats weren't that crazy. But so you had Charles Woodson win it. You had Peyton Manning, Ryan Leaf, Randy Moss, and Ricky Williams were the top 5 vote getters that year. Could you imagine watching that Heisman ceremony? That's insane. That's such a loaded Heisman class.
And that's back when they didn't tell you ahead of time of the odds. I heard a lot of guys talking about that. Like you just got it fresh. You didn't know
It
who was
ruins
going
it.
to win it.
Yeah, it ruins it watching it. Like that's what last year's was kind of fun because we didn't really know the odds until like an hour before the ceremony, which is this year we knew a week before the ceremony. You know what I mean?
I'd rather just go in because that's gonna go into my least favorite one. Is more of like that take of like the anticipation, like
Mhm.
because we've all had guys that were up there before, Ohio State, Oregon, and Notre Dame, like, and when you're younger, that anticipation of like could they actually pull it off? Because they're talking about like they can. They used to talk about every person equally. It's not like now where like you can tell there's one guy that doesn't get interviewed as much, and he doesn't have like his own special in a way. It's kind of short. Back then they were like, you get 15 minutes, you get 15, you get 15. You know what I mean?
It's like, did you see the picture of Sain's podium at the Heisman ceremony, bro? Just
Yeah,
the one guy talking to
I love that.
him.
Some people compare it to Isaiah Thomas's from basketball when that guy's leaning on him in the fucking locker room. Anyways, I'm gonna go with my least favorite, of course, probably no surprise. It's when Troy Smith won it. That crushed me as a kid. That hurt me more than everything inside of my body. If you look at the stats, Brady Quinn balled the fuck out and just balled. And I understood it. I didn't like the fact that it went to the best player on the best team. Wall State was the best team in the country at the regular season that year. And it crushed me as a kid. I'm like, the best team doesn't deserve it if they don't have the best player. I was like, Brady Quinn will throw 20 yards farther, bro. I bet Brady Quinn's fucking faster than Troy Smith. Like, I went all fucking out, dude. I was so fucking pissed off and sad. So I'll say that one. Also, shout Darren McFadden. Because I wanted him to win if Troy Smith didn't. So when they got 2 and 3, I was like, I crushed my dreams. Like, that was definitely a real moment. Like, I remember telling Jay I was upset, and he goes, hey, it's not gonna be the last time. Like, this is what happens. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it really sat with me. My favorite one, just overall, I was kind of torn with this because it's more of a player thing for me. And I think the RG3 year with Andrew Luck, that year, like really hit me with greatness. I really thought I was watching, like, because I was big into documentaries at that time, watching sports stuff. No life NFL films forever, you know. And like it felt like one of those things you're watching live, like you're watching history. RG3 was all over the place. He was like, do you imagine NILs with RG3? Motherfucker had Subway on the back of his jersey, like in the middle of playing in the game. Like, and Andrew Luck was just, I thought, like one of the like just goats. So I thought that was just such a tight one. I don't know who else was with them in that. I wonder if it's anybody crazy. Can you imagine being a side guy?
With
Like,
who? Which one do you want?
RG3.
I got it right here. So the top, I'll just do the top 5. The 5th one's actually really surprising. RG3, Luck was 2nd, Trent Richardson was 3rd, Monte Ball was 4th, and then Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, was 5th. Case Keenum was 7th, and if you know Case Keenum college ball, that boy put up some numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure he still holds like all the records, doesn't he?
Yeah. Fucking A, dude. Tyrann Mathieu. I forgot about that. Keegan, you were a big fan of him.
Love him. Oh my God, he's a dog.
Dog. One of the dog of dogs. Man, that's cool to think about. That's cool. All right, let's move forward just a little bit to get into some college football. We got Alabama, Oklahoma. I don't know if you guys saw that video of the Oklahoma quarterback just falling on his ass during warm-ups. I thought he got hurt for a second. Apparently it's going viral. They're just making fun of him. I was like, dude, if he got hurt, then man. Also, you got Miami versus Texas A&M, the Notre Dame Bowl. I think Freeman should show up and like give the winner a Notre Dame helmet. And you
Get a sideline pass.
Yeah, that's the decal, both teams. Yeah, fucking hold it up. It's Notre Dame Bowl. Man, I hope that game like gets just rained out with electricity and thunder strikes, and like I hope Clark does some black magic at home and that bitch just gets flooded and they just got reschedule it. Fuck both those teams. Tulane or Ole Miss. Kind of wild. You got a coach, that's new and a coach that's staying for a second. I was thinking, like, how much more electric would this game be if they let Kiffin just cook one, just for the playoffs? Then you have two coaches that got new jobs going against each other, SEC jobs, like deep SEC jobs going against. Oh man, that'd be electric. James Madison, goofy James Madison. They got the weird Twitter, man. They talk crap about the Irish. They talk crap about Oregon. I hate it, but I have to respect it just a little bit. Just because, like, you know what? If you're there, I guess you got to talk it. Like, when else are you supposed to do it? And
enjoy the ride, fellas. Enjoy the ride.
Have some fun with it. Exactly. Enjoy the ride. That's a good way to put it, Keegan. Enjoy the ride.
Keegan, I mean, you guys have a lot of injuries as well still, like lingering stuff. So, like, that's the only thing that concerns me a little bit. But you're guys that have been playing or backups for the last, like, 3 or 4 games. So that's experience right there more than these James Madison guys got all year in 12 games, in my opinion. Like, if you got to play at Iowa and win a game there with some of those guys that were, like, freshmen, like, those guys will be ready. But what do you guys
Iowa, USC, and Washington to finish off the season with a lot of those guys. So I'm not sweating at all with James Madison. A little warm-up game for the playoffs.
Hell yeah. To stay healthy, win the game, put the bench in after a while. And Oregon deserves this a little bit, don't they? They kind of had a rough go last year. That wasn't fair.
Dude, just having the way the playoffs have gone, it's restored my faith a little bit this year. All right. It's got me a little bit more excited right now. I'm more excited to see how the playoffs are going to shake out now. But,
no, I love that for you because you say it restores your faith. It fucks with mine. James Madison should not be in the goddamn playoff.
Hey, something's got to go. If something's coming up, something's got to go, brother.
How crazy is it that you guys lose earlier in the year and you get an easier trip than last year and you lost or you won out last year? That don't make sense to me. Restoring faith.
I think it's so funny that Keegan – week in, week out, all season is like, guys, it's not our year. Back it up. We got young guys. We got freshmen playing running back. Dan Lanning's retooling. We're getting after it next season. Let's take a buffer on this one. And then come playoff time, Keegan's like, fuck yeah, I told you boys the whole time, ride Oregon, ride Ducks.
Max Ohio State a little bit. I'm just like, all right, we got some teams that are beatable now, boys. We can get at this. Let's go.
Just like that, man. Now you're back in it.
It's that game of Iowa, bro. It restored faith in humanity for those Duck fans, I think. Like,
it's that really reverse psychology juice.
Mm-hmm.
That no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And you will it to happen.
It bothers me, and I'm not going to say it's my Notre Dame high horse, but all year I was like just comfy. Even that last release of the shit before everything went to part, or just went to shit. I was like, I'm fine with this. I'm like, cool. I like this. We're not going to move anywhere. I don't care if Alabama jumped us right there. Fuck it. We're in here. We've been here all year. We said it from the beginning. I remember Eric's voice just going, "You guys go 10-2. You're going to be in. Like it's fine." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine. We're all in. It's fine." And then we start balling. Who cared the schedule was weak? We started balling. USC bailed us out by being decent. Kept balling. Then we don't even play in a game. Sorry, that's my last time I'll say it for a while. I'll say it again. It just depends who wins. Now, if things go the right way and the football gods are smart and they all do the right thing, and Ole Miss wipes Tulane out, and Oregon wipes James Madison out, and bro, Texas A&M destroy Miami, please. Like that's because we weren't in the argument like that with Texas A&M. So I'm rooting with Texas A&M. They were our best friend all year. They had to lose against Texas. That's all. Okay, hold on. But anyways, I will go off more and more as the final scores happen. I don't want to waste my energy because I think my health bar this season's low as fuck, boys. I can't risk it. I can't get crazy. I'm losing my mind. But do you guys have any football matchups? Like Alabama, Oklahoma, I think will be interesting. Also, I'm prepared for a boring game. Like not boring, but low scoring as fuck. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I don't think
mean,
that Oklahoma defense is anything to mess with, man, especially at home. That's the game I'm most interested in outside of that, obviously the Miami and A&M game, because obviously I'm biased there because Ohio State plays the winner of that game. But that Oklahoma game, and I think Bama's actually favored, which I was kind of surprised about. I think Bama's favored by 1.5 in that game.
That's kind of
Yeah,
wild,
so
actually.
I'm interested in that game.
Their defense is killer with Alabama, though. Like, is I don't know if you guys can confirm. Is Simpson supposed to be like kind of hurt? Is that's like a rumor? I thought I saw that.
Yeah, and like the last time they played, Simpson had a decent game, 326, a touchdown and a pick. Bama could have run the ball, but that's been their offense all season. Oklahoma also couldn't run the ball, but and Material only went for 138, but that was right when he got back from being banged up, I think. So I don't know. That Oklahoma defense is good, man. I watched it. You talk about like the line, but there's so many good linebacker rooms in this college football playoff. It's a really weird position room to have so strong, but like you have Tech, who's got an amazing room outside of just that Rodriguez kid. You have Oklahoma, who's probably has the second best overall room, and then Ohio State probably has the best linebacker room in the country. It's just a really random position to be stacked at, and
Mm.
with 12 teams in the playoffs, like three of the 12 teams have stacked rooms there. It's really weird.
And you don't really have a crazy amount of run-heavy teams. I'd say Ohio State is. Oklahoma is kind of forced to be whatever they're supposed to be. Alabama ain't what it used to be. Ole Miss is gonna be just running around everywhere. I think. Like with that, their running back's nice, but like who's gonna be able to stand up to that type of? You know what I mean? Like which teams are gonna
Mhm.
be able to get through those linebackers? TJ, you're about to say something as well. What do you think?
yeah, I'm super interested to see Ole Miss. They're
Ooh.
in such like a weird, vulnerable spot right now because the logic works both ways, right? You could say, Kiffin left, the players are going to be fired up, to go out and play a playoff game without somebody who they may consider traitorous, a guy that essentially turned his back on them, allegedly, maybe. Uh, so you could say, oh, the players would be fired up, or, it might have sucked the life out of the team and they might be cooked. So I'm just super interested. I mean, look, Ole Miss should beat Tulane on their worst day, but I just want to see what it looks like. There's a lot of questions there.
That's the only one. Like Keegan, like you were saying, you're kind of bailed out, but I do want to see that too. And like I don't know if you still have your coach for Tulane, that is an interesting thing, right? Like to me, they were the only G5 that I wanted in there. Like that was the G5 that I think we all agreed that was going to be the G5. So I think they kind of lucked out with this matchup. Like they could have just had Oregon in a way and just been stuck there. To
Yep.
see a G5 in a spot where they get to do this, and like we're seeing modern football, there's no coach, no coach. I hope down the road that changes, and it's like, man, back Ole Miss gets to brag about that maybe. Like, oh, we got caught off guard because the rules were different. You know what I mean? Like that's the way college football is. I kind of like that lucrative aspect. Kind of like how Oregon got put in a spot this year. Like part of it's rigged, but part of it is rigged both ways. Like you can have the pendulum swing your way, and now you kind of got lucky and you didn't deserve it. Just like the pendulum swings, oh, you got fucked over. Ohio State's kind of, in my opinion, a little bit fucked over. Like that's a hot spot. I think you guys are kind of in Oregon spot like last year. I really do. Or not, or yeah, just yeah, Oregon because like Ohio State has to deal with Miami or Texas A&M. That's crazy for having one of the most dominant teams of the whole season without being, you know what I mean? Without really a scar. Your only scar is what? A 3-point loss against the best team in the country with the Heisman winner on it? I will defend Ohio State with that. Like, how the fuck does, like, what if James Madison beats Oregon? You tell me James Madison can't, they have to re-bracket. I always say that. Like, if you're going to do this style, I think you got to readjust. You don't really know who you're going to play depending on who wins. Like, I think Ohio State needs to go against, like, Tulane next, not Miami or Texas A&M. That's just wild. Go against them
Man,
later on.
do it like the NBA draft lottery and just put all the shit in a hat and fucking crank the bingo wheel and pull a ping pong ball out like Ohio State ta-dink, 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 ta-dink versus Miami in the first round.
That'd be
Do it. At
hard.
least that would be like exciting, you know?
Or just
It would
take
be
out the bye
fucking
weeks and
yeah, it'd
seed
be
it
rigged to
1 through
fuck, but
12.
It would
why
be
not?
rigged. Notre Dame's
Yeah,
got their Catholic soldiers on the ground putting a bunch of Notre Dame balls.
they do that fucking what was it, Patrick Ewing when they froze the envelope?
That's crazy. Yeah, it's rigged it to the max. Patrick Ewing, LeBron James. LeBron's even said it. He's confirmed it. He's so stupid, bro. Anyways, yeah, dude, I don't like that. Like, I want to imagine like the bracket the way it's supposed to be, you know. But also, it's like Oregon gets that's what Oregon's on luck out with. Hey, shout out. Any upsets, or we just think go around the room? Anybody got like any upsets at all with this before I move on, or any final scores, or anybody that's going to stand out? Well, I really think that if the ball rolls the right way, Texas A&M is going to look pretty. They may not win the next one, but they might get a real pretty win at home.
See, if I'm picking an upset, Miami'd probably be my pick. Because I'm not confident Bama can beat Oklahoma at home. And I definitely don't think James Madison's taking out Oregon. I don't think Tulane's going to take out Ole Miss, even though Ole Miss, like you said, TJ, they're so distracted right now. And how they not be? It's just, I think that Miami one's one to watch because when you talk about A&M, dude, like their strength of schedule like is always going to be decent because it's the SEC. But like, dude, they played in a lot of tight games and kept on pulling them out. And I think I think Miami can hang on offense with A&M if it comes to shootout.
They're very similar teams because A&M schedule is kind of buns, actually, if you look at it. I think
Oh
they're
yeah.
like the worst SEC schedule, like in terms of strength. See, I don't consider that an upset. I think those two teams are very similar. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that,
fair too. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I even think like Oklahoma, Alabama is just a coin flip at that point. Like, I don't really see, and that's a good thing about college football. Like, I want that for the playoffs, right? Like, I don't want it to be lopsided. I kind of want to see what happens when you roll the dice. And we all play fucking, backseat quarterback after it's all done. You know what I mean? We all do that. Like, I remember even
Yeah.
last year, I was nervous for Notre Dame, Indiana, and afterwards, everyone's like, "Oh, that's how it's supposed to happen." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I don't know. No one knows, bro. God, I'm so sad. A year ago, Friday night, Notre Dame. Let's
I
go. Let's go.
I I just want to know, man, while we're just talking upsets, if you're JMU, what do you even tell those guys? Like they got to where is JMU located? Is it Virginia or North Carolina or some shit?
I think
I
it's
don't know. They're
Virginia,
there.
right? It's
They're there
Virginia, I
for
think.
they're there for
Yeah,
game day.
I think it's Virginia. Yeah. It's like, man, when you talk to the players, man, it's like, hey, I know the coach left. I know now we're flying 6 hours to Oregon. I know it's a night game in one of the largest stadiums in the country and one of the loudest stadiums in the country, playing one of the best teams in the country. It's like, how do you even like I understand being rah-rah and thinking like any given Sunday, but how do you rally the troops if you're JMU's interim coach to go and fucking play that game?
My way, if I'm a coach, I'm just thinking this now. I'm getting each guy's huddle out, their best tapes, like from the old days of high school. Even find some middle school stuff that the parents sent over. We're gonna have a little banquet, right? That's what they all do before these bowl games. We're gonna have a little dinner all together. We're gonna sit there and watch projection of our boys ball out when they were freshmen, sophomores in high school, 15-year-old kids, watching you score a 100-yard touchdown in front of your boys. Remind yourself that you could just do that to dogs, and you didn't think about this whole who's better, what team's better. You just played. That's what I'm doing. I'm making every boy feel themselves. They don't even think about their high school trophies, their MVPs from Pee Wee, whatever the fuck they got in the tank. You're playing D1 football. That's what you get out of those boys. And then you go out there, and you know what? I want a little bit of delusion. The first play might wake some of y'all up so bad that whole thing's gonna go away so fast. You're gonna be like, damn, I'm not good. That's fine. I don't need all of you to be locked in. I need the ones important to be locked in, more consistent than the others, and we're gonna ball. To act like all 11 of you are gonna fucking ball against Oregon's fucking stupid. Imagine that as a coach. Not one of y'all are gonna suck today. 2 of you might get your ass whooped.
I was with you until about the end right there. Right about that. I was just saying, you're going to need all 11 guys to sell the fuck out to even get a shot, brother.
No.
If you're counting on your dogs, you're about to get.
We're going to be realistic here.
Dog.
That's why I kill him with realism right near the end. The coach is so positive right before they go out to the tunnel. He turns around and goes, "Good luck, boys. You're going to need it."
I'm going a totally different route, dog.
I'm going crazy.
I'm getting in front of the team. I'm saying, where's my underclassmen at? Underclassmen, raise your hand. They all raise their hand. I say, listen, one of you motherfuckers balls out. I'll call Dabo Sweeney myself. You'll be at Clemson next year. I'm calling Kurt Signetti. We'll get you to Indiana. Just get us through this fucking game. If one of you turn them selfishly into wanting to perform to get more NIL, I feel like that's the route. Because I don't know if you can fool the JMU educated players into thinking they could win. You got to entice them with money to try. Be like, dog, listen, you want to play at fucking Georgia Tech next year? Go out and hang 100 on Oregon, man. Garbage time or not, shit.
No, that's a slippery slope when it's like, you know what? I think we can score again. I ain't going to block to this motherfucker because he's going to take my scholarship from me. This wide receiver versus wide receiver. The wide receiver's going to fuck that whole thing up. They're going to be like, oops. It's smacked. He goes, my bad, brother. Ching, ching. And he just goes, no. That's crazy. I like that, though. That's creative. We're getting creative.
That's what Nevada's coach said. Nevada's coach was like, you know why you come to Nevada? Because you can develop here and then go play at Oregon next year. It's like, hey, I think it's interesting that we got teams really doing that shit now that are like, hey, you want to fucking, we're going to be a nice little pit stop in the Mountain West. You come here, make yourself some scratch, and then maybe the big dogs on the West Coast will pick you up for next season.
Oh, man, I bet you have, where we live, half the MAC schools got to do that for the Big Ten schools around here and the different, like, Cincinnati's, you know what I mean? Like, and you got, like, half the ACCs right on the edge of us. Like, yeah, that's definitely happened. There's no way it's not. Like, and I think there's other programs that are going to struggle, maybe like West Virginia. I don't see Rich Rod saying that. That's why I want to see the difference. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to tell you now, baby, you hear. Like, and I think it's going to go with whatever type of kids you have, right? Like, at that point. But then it's also like, what type of coaching staff do you have to afford that? Because if they know your coaching staff turns dudes out crazy and they're looking for jobs, I think I would look for that. I mean, if you're a crazy athlete and you realize, man, you know what? I only got one more year left. I'm balling. This OC says he's staying this year, but he's looking at an OC job, in the NFL or some shit. I'm going there. And I think that's like, I want to see Ohio State gets affected by that too as a big program losing Harbaugh.
Yeah. I'm looking at James Madison's team stats just because I haven't watched a James Madison snap this year, totally honest.
Damn, bro, you don't watch football, bro?
Yeah. So they have the fourth most rushing yards by a team this year with over 3,000. And then they have the third best run defense in the country. They have only given up 990 yards on the ground this year. So I looking at that tells me you got sorry, Beckham's yawning. Looking at that tells me you got the dogs that like, hey, we're just gonna try to beat Shelley's guys. That's exactly what they're gonna say. Because you gotta lean into who you were all season. That seems like who they were all season. Maybe that Twitter account's got it right though, man. Like Keegan said, like enjoy the ride, baby. Maybe that's what James Madison's gonna do. Like, hey, we're just gonna come out calm and see if we get that bullshit goes our way.
They got two fun like little notes on their roster. Eric, just look up a picture of what their leading rusher looks like. I'm pretty sure he's like 260 pounds. Like, I think he's a hoss. If I'm remembering properly, I think he's an absolute unit. And then I don't know if you guys remember UNLV's quarterback left last year.
Yep.
Like super controversially and said they weren't paying him. He's the backup at JMU now, Matt Sulka or some shit like that. Yeah. He's the backup at JMU behind Barnett.
How'd that work out for him? Did he get paid? Did they pay him?
I don't know. He's sitting on his ass. He's gonna be riding the bench for the playoffs, man.
What a story that would be. He comes out and starts slanging that thing, bro, throwing it all over, bro, and he's doing Johnny Manziel. People are like, "Oh, that's the kid." Hey, college football. Keegan's over here like, hell no. Honestly, dude, Oregon's front seven's underrated. Like they got some big fucking dudes up there, and like I'm interested to see, like always, the O line versus D line. That's why Tulane, to me, is like I like the sneaky point with that. Like TJ was saying earlier, and like Tulane recruits out of a very similar area. So like they might not have the most talent, but I'm telling you, Tulane got some hosses up front on the O line. Those are big fed boys. Like they gonna so you can't change size. I don't care if they're not the fastest guard in the world. They may not be pulling quick. They might not be able to bench that well, but they're huge with their man titties flopping, slapping motherfuckers. Like I want to see that a little bit. Like I think James Madison's going like they're just small, baby. What does he say? You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal.
Random bowl matchups. There's not a lot of them I'm interested in. Maybe you guys are. I do like what's going on with Pop-Tart Bowl. Like always, it's electric. They got the trophy out. They're starting the first cook-off, whatever they said, the first Pop-Tart. Like the whole ceremony. They've had the coaches put it in there and try to work it. Oh, this is just hilarious. Like I really do enjoy that. Like I think like the Pop-Tart Bowl needs to like grow, dude. Like honestly, like I think we're such a weird fan base. Like you get that bitch in the playoff, dude. I think that would be electric. You could and make it the goofiest game. Like you imagine if Oregon and James Madison was playing. Like I like the home field thing stuff way more. But just imagine them at like a Pop Tart Bowl.
Yeah, for all of marbles.
Make it like the biggest underdog versus the best seeded team, and just let them fucking do this fun thing. Got Pop Tarts running around, mascots and shit. Let it get electric, bro. Because if the team's losing by 100, I want to see some cool shit go off. You know what I mean? Oh man, but I'm really the only one I'm interested in is Iowa versus Vandy. My two reasons: one, Iowa's always just a good team, right? They're probably one of the better teams ever in it. Kind of boring, but Vandy, just as Notre Dame fan, they talked all that shit. They want to keep playing games. And like I was getting annoyed. Like they even said something even during the Heisman. They're trying to act like they want to play again. I'm like, NCAA's not going to do that. So why are you even saying it? You're just barking behind a fence and acting like you're a big dog. Like that shit just. I'm starting to enjoy the fact that some fans are turning on that. They're like they don't know how to act. I'm like, thank you. Like I said, 11-win best season of all time. Poverty, just poverty. But I want to see Iowa hand it to them. I like the balance of college football. I love that Vandy's had a cool story, but Iowa's been such a good program for such a long time with such a sturdy coach. He deserves that shit to put these other fucking newcomers down a notch. And I want it to be ugly. 17-13, Iowa, game-winning touchdown. Dude, come on. Poetry in motion. But I don't know if you guys have any, I can move forward quick. But if you don't, I didn't know if you guys got any that catch your eye of a weird bowl game. Texas, Michigan, that's exciting.
Yeah, that was on my list. Was
Yeah.
Texas, Michigan. I'm all in bowl season for the chaos. So
Same.
like definitely Texas, Michigan is high on the chaos list of just being so many variables, now like that's an insane game. And then the other one that I thought was kind of interesting, I don't expect to be a good football game, but an interesting football game is Penn State versus Clemson at Yankee Stadium in the Pinstripe Bowl. I think that has I think it could be fun. I think it could be fun.
I like that one too. Isn't that crazy? What a world we live in. Man,
I had two. I had Alamo Bowl written down because it's USC versus TCU, and they both score a shit ton of points. So they might just light it up on each other. And then sometimes for bowls, I just go find the highest like over-unders I can to see the random one. Ohio University is playing UNLV in the Scooters Coffee Bowl, and the over-unders at 64.5.
Dude, you ain't nothing to play with, bro. I'm telling you, that Navarro kid crazy. Oh man, that's awesome, dude. That's actually electric. See, I want to see. I always root for MAC schools. I always have. I want to see good representation. I've always rooted for SEC schools to lose. I don't know. It's just I count more conference wins as a whole. I like that part after bowls. I like the shit talking that happens. Like, oh, you guys, went 1-6 and we went, 5-0. Like, I love that shit. In fact, the only thing I want to run by you guys, since we're in bowl season, I really genuinely miss the structure of, Pac-12 winner versus Big Ten winner at the Rose Bowl. Like, if we could find a way to kind of do the same thing and replace that with the conference championship games in a way, like that weekend, and add that playoff if you want to add teams and stuff, I think like if maybe it's just a point system within the thing. You don't really have a conference championship game because there's so many teams. You might as well split it. I don't care what you do, but I do think like, or at least do the conference championship game and reset the playoff that way. Like I just missed that. I miss like Rose Bowl. You just knew who was playing. Sugar Bowl, you knew who was playing. Fiesta Bowl, you kind of knew who can get in there. It's an SEC team whooping the ass of some other team in there. I mean, Ohio State played in it against like I think what LSU, Notre Dame did LSU. Like bring that back a little bit. What do you guys think? Like more structure to the bowls because I think it makes it more pointless. Like another team should do it too. Like imagine the MAC and the Mountain got their own rivalry going on.
And maybe you wouldn't have teams say no to it if they had automatic bids. Like, hey, if you don't make the playoffs, you know you're going to play in this bowl game. So maybe you don't have the opportunity to like not accept the bid because you just know it's like, hey, we're gonna have, the highest ranked SEC team that didn't make the playoffs, which is Texas, and then the highest ranked Big Ten team that didn't make the playoffs, which is USC, I think, at the end, or Michigan.
Yeah,
Michigan,
USC,
Texas,
Michigan.
and like you just said, like I don't maybe that would make it better so that we don't have as many like people opting out.
And fans would be interested, I think, a lot too. And the
Yeah,
NIL would
yeah.
be there, the transfer portal situation. If you can change the transfer portal window as well and let those guys ball, can you imagine how many more guys would ball out if they knew, man, they told me if I ball out there in this game, they'll give me that extra .5 mil. Like that's $500,000. Like I think that you got to incentivize these kids, kind of like what TJ's saying. I'm not
Plus, if
saying
you
they should
change
just
the
do that to
calendar.
James Madison kids. Don't you wiggling fucking cash in front of them to lead out the tunnel.
But you know,
Plus, if you
you
change the calendar, you wouldn't have the Lane Kiffin situation you have right now.
Yeah, it can
If the
change the whole
transfer portal
thing.
didn't open, this week or whenever it did, like he could stay and coach the playoffs and not have to worry about losing out on recruiting and transfer portal.
It'd just be electric. Like, can you imagine how cool it'd be him going to a championship game and knowing he's going to LSU and the hype he'd
Mm,
bring to LSU after that? Dude, electricity for anybody to do that. Like, just straight up. And it would look better for guys like Ryan Day if he's in that situation. He's a long-term coach by then, never fucking moved. Him and, Kirby Smart. It just would add to the lore of what's kind of going on instead of breaking it apart. I
mm.
don't want to wait for a good LSU team in 2 years to go against Georgia. I want to see Lane Kiffin take out his best Ole Miss team. You know, that game
so
was crazy.
there's an ancient Chinese proverb that can perfectly describe this situation. And it goes, sometimes you have to fuck it now so you can unfuck it later. And that's the one thing we learned about college football this season is that everything's fucked and now we know what needs to be fixed. You have like the playoff shit, the head coaching situations, the transfer portal stuff. Now it because like they say, oh, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it's broke. It's
Yeah.
fucking broke now, and everybody sees it. If me, you, Keegan, and Eric can tell that it's broke, it means the people involved know that it's broke too. So I'm really interested to see going forward who kind of draws the lines in the sand with the administrative bodies that are like, guys, we got to get this shit sorted out. Like we got teams like Ole Miss imploding right before their playoff berth. So I'm really looking forward to see like maybe, I mean, hopefully somebody will grab it by the reins, and start changing things for the better.
Hey, put Saban in there, put them all in there. I love the fuck it now so you can unfuck it later. I think that's like the motto of like half these fucking pregnancies I see out here on social media, dude. Like,
You
oh
already know,
yeah,
man.
like, that's how half
Ancient
of us were born.
ancient Chinese proverb, man.
Oh, Confucius say, "Man who sleeps with itchy butt wakes up with itchy finger." You know what I mean? Like say, smelly finger. I'm fucking itchy finger. I'm fucking losing it, bro. I'm like turning senile. I do senile jokes. What's wrong with me? Oh man. Yeah, college football's fucked. But hey, we will enjoy it. We are sickos. You watch the games. They're on the TV. Let's fucking get after it. Let's push forward to some NFL recap of our, I'm going to go first because I'm going to get to you boys. Interesting weekends for you boys. But I'm going to fucking shake my shit. I've now shook my shit a little bit, but I haven't gotten excited about the Niners that much yet. But I think it's time. I think it's finally time to get some excitement around here for San Francisco 49ers. I think it's time that I'm glad the patience is slowly cooking. The offense is moving. We're putting up points, boys. That's what we need to do, put up points. Purdy's out here. I love the fact he did a little fucking football thing, and then he apologized right after because he knew he looked like a douche. Self-awareness. That's called quarterback one right there. That's self-awareness. You get a little cocky, then you pull it back. Hey, my bad, brother. You give him a little kiss. You know what I mean? self-awareness. And like also like it's cool to see like some guys just healthy balling a little bit. I know Jennings had a lot of fits, but that guy's just out there running around, running his mouth. I love it. Pierce Hall is really getting some good big plays, and that's what's changing the whole game. It's leaving Kittle open again like the old days. And the offensive line's blocking. Trent Williams, man, he kind of just blows your mind with like the whole thing, like Father Time catches up to you. Because, man, he just, at this time, it's always this time of the year where he starts cooking. It's not early. He's such a late bloomer that, like, most guys like that can't last in the NFL. The injuries off the off seasons, the lack of this and that. Nah, man, he's cooking. And he's still fast. And it's nice having him out there because there's a lot of young guys out there, and we get injured still. Like, it's NFL. Half your line is injured even if they're not on the injury list for that year. And you can tell he's pointing around to the boys, and it's just exciting. And the defense is starting to cook. It took us a while, a little growing pains there. You know, a lot of new guys in new positions, but defense is cooking. Salah is really showing his leadership. I like it. I know it's just a win against the Titans, but she got a little shaky there for a second just because, I mean, you can tell sometimes the injuries, like, I just worry, like, especially on defense. And when we start to show toughness on third downs and we show toughness on just grit, like, oh, we'll just be fine. And it's getting tough. Guys are losing. The division's getting tougher and tougher. I really was hoping for the Lions to pull out Keegan. We'll talk about that. I really was. I'm like, dude. And I was hoping for Phil Rivers. When I saw Phil Rivers, we'll get to that, dude. I was like, bro, Seahawks, fucking Rams. I was cheering for a second, dude. I thought, all right, Niners going to win. These boys are going down. We're going to jump the ladder. We're going to sit there just fine. Damn, we can't catch a break. And I like that that's kind of the team model right now. Like, you can feel it. Like, the boys ain't settling because they just won't. And, dude, shout out to Shanahan, man. He don't flinch. I hate that sometimes Coach of the Year always goes to a new coach in a new situation or, like, a rebuild the year because I'm like, man, sometimes it's like some of these coaches just deserve it every year. You know what I mean? It's just like stack them up. Like, if some of these guys can stack up MVPs, stack up these coaching awards. Like, I'm telling you, Shanahan just shows me time and time again, like, man, I don't want nobody else. I love Dan Campbell and the whole works, but nah, I'm good over here. That, you know, like, he's so clean. I'm gonna talk my shit for now. That's all. I know I'm the only Niners fan there. Man, you know what? I'll say this too. You know how, like, when you have to get like new like cards and stuff because shit expires, like, and you have cards for everything these days. And, you know, you try to get them themed. I'm old school. I like that shit. I like getting my NFL team on everything or college football team on stuff. Dude, when they ask me, oh, do you still want the Niners decal? Bitch, what? Come on now, dude. Go Niners. Come on. Get it on there every fucking year, baby. Come on. We're cooking. We'll go to the Lions-Rams first because he's the only Lions boy in here. And I love the Lions too, man. And I was excited when you guys were doing the little sprint celebrations, running up and down, and the scoreboards, you're up by 10. I was like, man, the Lions need this. Like, they need this now. Like, this is it. This is what Keegan was saying. Big win in the playoff picture. Matthew Stafford is a dog, an animal. And it felt so ironic to see him just ripping the Lions away like that. When the Rams could, sure, the NFC's real tight, but if they lost, it wouldn't be the end of the world. And, of course, Matt Stafford's the one. Not Aaron Rodgers now. It's Matt Stafford putting the dagger into the fucking Lions for a second. Did you wear your Lions gear, Keegan? What happened? Did you take it off in the fourth quarter?
No, I wore it all the way through. Freaking, but dude, it just sucks because I feel like I fucking come on here and say the same goddamn thing every fucking time about our team. Like, we just don't play complimentary football well. We don't, like, when it matters. Like, when it's time to fucking drop your nuts and fucking, like, pull away and do it, we just don't play complimentary football well. Like, our defense will freaking hold them to a field goal, and then the offense gets a quick fucking 3 and out, and then freaking Rams offense starts clicking, and they start moving down the field, and our defense is exhausted. So, like, it just sucks. It never seems like it times up right, even when we have the lead. And that game, like, we should have won that game. We had the lead going into halftime, and we let it slip away through our fingers. It all happened in that third quarter, right towards the end of that third quarter, going into fourth. It just slipped away, man. And it just freaking – it's so frustrating because this team is so much better than this. And it just sucks. It's flat out sucks. Like, I know that we could say, like, oh, you guys had injuries again and all that, but there's no excuse. Like, we freaking with the cap space that we're running out with and everything like that, like, we have to fucking start winning now, guys. We got to. And now there's a chance we might not even get into the playoffs. Like, that's going to be a huge slap in the face. So we got to fucking win out. It's in our court to control our destiny. So got to win out. Got Pittsburgh this week, and Steelers have been hot, man. Can't fucking sleep on them. So I don't think it's going to be an easy one either. I think it's going to be a freaking another tough win to get, but you got to get it or else it's over.
And that's it. That's what Dan Campbell's preaching.
And what sucks too is Green Bay and fucking the Bears are hot. It was kind of nice hearing that Micah Parsons stuff with Green Bay, but I'll be honest, I think the Bears are going to fucking take advantage of it now. You know what I mean? I think they're going to fucking keep running the show, and Packers might just be far enough ahead of us that fucking we don't get to go to the party, which would suck. Because I was kind of hoping the opposite. I was kind of hoping Packers would just keep staying on top, Bears fall off, and we creep up there. But God, I'm not so fucking sure now, gentlemen. I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie.
And to have your old OC do it to you. You know what I mean? Like, you had your old OC do it to you. You had your old quarterback do it to you this past weekend. It's like, you know, hey, Lions, and I say this, you know, where I stand looking at the Lions, it's like you kind of – this is where it sucks of being good, because good things will happen around you as well when you're good, and it will affect you, and it will be part of you. And that's what you're saying. You got your vets. You also got your new guys. It's time for those guys because they're getting paid to step up, and this is where, like, the growth really is. Also, like, I don't want to say this for you, Keegan, because I know how you think, but I'll say it for other Lions fans. I trust a lot in this front office, Dan Campbell. If you guys don't make the playoffs, that might be the trampoline that team needed to go from a flash in the pan to a solidified 10-year run as an organization, because you're going to have those hiccups that really sometimes it makes or breaks teams. The way those Lions players are made and the way that front office is, it will make you guys mold a lot stronger. And that type of disappointment really goes far for teams that really have good aspirations. I mean, look at us last year with the Niners. I don't think we're nearly as good this year. Injuries, of course, but we're not nearly as good if it wasn't for last year being so upsetting. You know, you go from Super Bowl runner-up to not fucking competing. And, like, that was embarrassing to them. And they talk about that a lot this year. And I think that's what you guys will do next year. I know you don't want to hear that, but your division's nasty. And, hey, bro, 9 with Minnesota strapping up, whatever that shit he does, putting that backpack on with that fucking, you know what I mean? Nueve, he's fucking out here slanging now. Oh, man. You know what? Speaking of wild shit with, you know, new quarterbacks, I'm going to start this before I pass it off to TJ and Eric. Bears looking good. We were just talking about that. It's a nice little segue point. The story of them giving him the wrong wristband is the most Browns thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. That's how I want to start this real quick. Because I'm over here thinking, like, rough week, cold game, Chicago's hot. Some of those, like, it's the NFL. Some of those scores, like, if they don't happen, it doesn't look as bad as 31-3 sometimes. It's the NFL. You couldn't move the ball. It's the Bears. But then when I find shit out like that, like, they just didn't give Sanders the right shit and they had to catch up. Bro, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? You don't have the right wristband for the quarterback of your multi-million-dollar organization? Like, we're talking about, like, imagine if this was a law firm or something fancy, and, like, the head guy for your presentation today to get you more money and more boosters for your investment, blah, 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 blah. You give him the wrong fucking folder and tell him to go to the meeting at the wrong time? Like, what are we doing here? That is the most Kevin Stefanski thing. I want to say that before you guys get on your rants. Wow, 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 wow. The Browns are back. Times are healing. Everyone, you know, kids are cool again a little bit. You know, they're listening to fucking Limp Bizkit now, bro. Shit's getting wild, and the Browns suck. We're going back in time. Sooner or later, we're gonna have cribs on TV again. I'm gonna see Post Malone's house. Thanks to you guys, I'm gonna see Post Malone's house. That's why I'm gonna leave that on, dude. Holy shit, man. TJ, Eric, whichever one of you want to go first, whichever one's the least emotionally damaged or most, I don't care. But I know Eric. I know Eric's
TJ,
thinking.
I want TJ go first.
Yeah, Eric's like draft picks are cooking. We're still riding.
Dog, I am just so tired, bro. It's like, it's exhausting to watch. I mean, genuinely, like, what I can live with if we get our ass kicked. Like, if the team just plays poorly and we get our ass beat, I can totally live with that. I watched that for 15, 20 years already. I know what that looks like. You know, the thing I have the problems with is the internal shit, is the wristband, the penalties. The penalties drive me absolutely fucking crazy. Because what, Eric, we had the ball on our own 1 yard line in the first quarter, and what, there were two like operational penalties. I'm like, listen, if you're on your own goal line, the ball's only fucking moving that far, half the distance to the goal. It's not a big deal. But it's the visual to me of it. It's being the laughing stock of going, dude, fucking A, get it together. And then you come and find out, and that's a great analogy, Jack, like you said, like imagine telling your business partner to go to the meeting, and when he clicks on the PowerPoint, it's pictures from the family vacation instead of the PowerPoint. It's like, how the fuck are we here? And you haven't got that done. I don't know how anybody could possibly defend the coaching staff after that like display. I mean, like I always say, it's like they're either poorly coached or they're incompetent players. And either way, it's somebody's fault. It's like it's not a coincidence that every fucking game the same thing happens. And it's not a coincidence that we open the game with a 40-yard kick return to the middle of the field. Like it's the same shit every single week. And it falls on Kevin Stefanski. At this point, I want Shador, I want Judkins, I want Schlesinger, I want Mason Graham. Just go through the motions. Don't go putting your fucking neck on the line for this cat, because obviously somebody in an administrative position has checked out. And like for a lot of the season, Jim Schwartz has been like the only guy that people are like, okay, Schwartz can stay, everybody else has to go. But at this point, it might be so intrinsically woven into the fabric of the staff that Schwartz might have to go too. And while we're talking about that, fucking Ben Johnson, that was a cooking, brother. I was seeing some run designs and shit that I haven't seen throughout the rest of the NFL all year. He's cooking. I mean, just creativity, efficiency, the perfect mixture of guts when you need to be gutsy. He's a fucking incredible play caller, and I wish we had a guy like that. I mean, now we're stuck with Tommy Reese and Kevin, and we go 3 and out, 3 straight drives, 3 straight punts, and then on 2nd and 9 you run a fucking tight end reverse. Nothing gets the momentum going like a fucking tight end reverse, you asshole. For fuck's sake, man. At this point, it's so exhausting to me that I'm literally watching the games now just for Miles to break the record. That's all I want to see. And that's what I'm going to see going forward. And how do you even, my football mind goes, okay, we can evaluate Fannin. We can evaluate Shador. We can see how Judkins is playing. We can see how the fill-ins on the offensive line, Whippler, what's the center's name, Eric?
Whippler, yeah,
Whippler.
yeah.
I thought so. Yeah, Whippler. We can see how he's playing. We can see all of these fill-ins, who gets to stay and who goes in the offseason. But everything's so fucked, you can't even get a good picture of like how do we evaluate these cats. So to me, everybody's got to go. You pull the plug on everything. Front office, the building should be empty, and Jimmy Haslam should be in his throne getting ready for next season with all new fresh hires. And I mean, fire the fucking kids that make copies in the office, fire the water boys, fire the fucking guys that put the cleats in the washing machine in between games, fire the fucking bus driver, fire everybody. Get this shit fucking done, man. We need to rip. You kill weeds by pulling the roots out. You don't pull the top off. You got to pull the roots out. And this whole thing is absolutely rotten to the core. And honestly, that was a rotten ass performance. I have nothing more to say about it. It is exhausting to watch, and that was some rotten shit. Chicago, though, is fucking rad. Those guys are awesome to watch. And I'm like, I like seeing I'm sorry, Keegan. I know that's a soft spot, but like I like seeing them cook. They're a good franchise to go in fucking December and play in negative 20 degrees and they're slinging the ball around. I like to see it. So on to next week. Go Browns. I hope we fucking pull off a dub. Come on, boys.
Who you guys got this week before we get there?
The Bills at home.
All right. All right, dude. I hope it'd be cool to see Myles Garrett take Allen down, like such a goat on goat kind of thing, like in a way, like a Hall of Famer on Hall of Famer, like break your sack record on a Hall of Famer. not wasted on, I don't know. What a time. My family's Bears fans, TJ. So like the fact you can tell about how exciting it is, like a lot of my family's Bears fans, they're hyped. And like it was so unexpected. I think they settled in that they just weren't good, and like they miss Lovey Smith still. Like everything they just like still like to this day they still did. Like you know what I mean? And this they still talk about Brian Urlacher and all that shit. And and now to see like that turnaround and to do it the way like some of those guys were labeled as shit a couple of years ago that are playing crazy now, especially in the secondary. Those kids were young and crazy. Like I only knew that from Madden of like picking those kids up in Madden. It was like, yo, these kids are slick. But it's like you wouldn't know that they were young. And also, I'm gonna say this real quick before Eric, because I would, Clark's not here, but he has to be here in spirit. Jerry Jeudy, dude, I thought Clark as soon as he gave that ball right to that fucking defensive player, I'm like, Clark might have fucking died. Like right there, like Clark could have had a heart attack. Like he just straight up perfect throw, dude. I'll give Sanders that. Perfect. Right on the dot. Kind of slight double coverage, not. You put on the back shoulder, make your wide receiver get it. It's fucking, you're playing like shit. Man, that could have been a tutty. Instead, oh, that's crazy. Anyways, Eric, man, what do you think? You got the Browns. You got the college football season wrapping up. Draft's going crazy. Some guys are already preparing for the draft, man. How you cooking?
The wristband thing, I do want to touch on that
Yeah.
because it's like, dude, that's delegated to so low of a staffer that it's just the most annoying mistake you make because it's probably the offensive assistant that puts the fucking card in the wristband. You know what I
That's why
mean? Like
TJ
that's
wants that
like
guy.
how does that happen, dude? Like that's just so stupid. And like that's how little of a fucking task that is that they fucked up. And I'm sure it was fixed after a drive. You know what I mean? There's no way he sat for two drives with the wrong wristband or the wrong first. There's no way. And if he did, I mean, even if he did, it didn't matter because he looked like shit on Saturday. I don't like. I'm not going to protect Shadur with this shit because I think to win this job, Shadur has to play very well to keep them from taking a quarterback. And like the Judy pick was not on him. Like that was a great ball. But the other two picks, absolutely on him. And honestly, for the most part, TJ, I'm curious what you thought. Dude, I thought our pass pro was fine on Sunday. Honestly, I did not think our run blocking was shit. It's been shit all season. And even with the backup, like I thought the pass pro was not that bad. Like I thought Shadur had time and he took a couple bit like college sacks where he just didn't get rid of the ball. And like you want to see him do that stuff. So I mean, I don't know, man. Just the defense. I hope Miles saves to break the record against Pittsburgh at home. I think that'd be hard as fuck if he broke TJ's record against Pittsburgh. So I kind of hope he waits a week to actually break it. I think that'd be super fun. Yeah, man, like you said, TJ, like we know what Fannin is, we know what Judd is, like we know what Carson Schwarzenegger is. Like as far as I'm concerned, if those guys are even like questionable, dude, bubble wrap them. Don't get hurt and delay your start next season. But Shadur can't get that treatment because he's got to win this job. You know what I mean? Like that, and like I don't trust our offensive staff either. So I don't think you're wrong, TJ. It's just we can't look at him that way because he hasn't shown enough to invest in like that. You know what I mean? Especially if you the most important thing for them, and I know I say this every week, is losing out at this point. Because if they lose out, they're guaranteed the 2 pick now. And that matters so much more than anything else this season is going to show us at this point. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it was just really defeating. It's because, like you said, TJ, it's like it just is so fucking unorganized. And like the defense, and this has been Jim Schwartz at most since he's been in Cleveland. He is so inconsistent, dude. And it's always when we get this late in the year, our defense doesn't start to fall apart. But like, and plus, Ward was hurt, and I think Ward's one of the more unsung players on our team a lot because one, he's a corner. So if you're not getting like crazy picks, people don't really talk about you. But as soon as Ward's out, it's like that moves everyone up in the depth chart. You know what I mean? So now you have third round picks that are playing starting outside, and it's like, yeah, they're not ready to do that, But I don't know. And plus, that game was just, I saw the injury report on like Wednesday last week, and knowing that game was going to be -10, you just know that that's a game like, hey, a lot of guys aren't going to play in this fucking game. Season's over. Like, these old guys are not going to come out here and dress for this fucking game when it's -10 in Chicago and you're playing for nothing. So I don't know. I don't have any takeaways from that game. Miles probably should have tied it last week, honestly. They took away that half sack bullshit, which was kind of crazy because it looked like he had the full sack. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to think. Like, I want to evaluate Sanders, Miles get the record, and that's like the worst point we could be at is finish this season and like everyone's like, oh, we don't know about Sanders. That's the worst place they could be because you can't keep him as a backup. You're not going to have that guy back up to a rookie. Like he's too much. Like do you guys know that he's 10th in Pro Bowl voting for quarterbacks? He is because it's fan voting. He is above. I wrote down the names he's above right now. Trevor Lawrence, Bo Nix, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Aaron Rodgers, and Lamar Jackson. Shadur Sanders has more Pro Bowl votes than all those quarterbacks I just named. Like it's just, I've never seen anything like this. Like truthfully,
My daddy's prime time.
yeah.
I want to see the jersey sales numbers. Like at the end of the year, you know how they put that out, like
Yeah,
the top
yeah.
10 jersey sales. I'm sure he's up there because I've been seeing people like completely out of the football sphere rocking like Shador Sanders jersey, like in music videos and shit. Like I've been seeing Sanders videos all over media recently. So I'm interested to see if he cracks the top 10. And what you were saying, Eric, with like evaluating Shador, like he has to play well enough not to take a quarterback. The I totally get it. I know everybody wants it to work out with Shador. He would have had to have gone so fucking nuclear in his
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
There
Exactly.
is no chance
You can't question it.
unless he comes out and he looks like fucking Peyton Manning, there is no chance they're not taking a quarterback next year. And frankly, the part that I'm really scared about is there's a lot of teams in the running, I guess, for a quarterback next year. The Raiders, the Jets, the Browns. There's fucking one for Fernando Mendoza. There's one.
I think
And
Moore's coming out. I think Moore's coming out though, to be fair.
that's fine.
And if he does, I think there's two. Like I'll agree with you though. Like if Moore does stay, Keegs, then I think there's one, and it's Mendoza, TJ, like you just said. But if Moore comes out, I do think there's two worth that 1 to 5 pick spot that I'd spend on it right now at least.
I do a lot of like the evaluating stuff when the season's over,
Mhm.
just to kind of like completely wipe my head of last season and then my football year starts with the draft. So when college football wraps and everybody starts to go into their combine shit and the mocks start to come out, uh, I haven't watched enough of Dante Moore to like get a read on him. To me, like Mendoza is picture perfect NFL quarterback. He's fucking weird. He's got a squeaky voice. I get it, but he can fucking ball. And if you're the Browns, say we end up picking, because what there's
If we
one.
lose out, we're pick two. We're guaranteed pick two if we lose out.
If
Because a
we
couple of these shit teams play each other next couple. Like the Titans. The Titans play the Saints next week. The Raiders play the Saints. The Titans play the Chiefs. Just the Chiefs without Mahomes, I feel like that's going to be a toss up too. So I'm just saying, like, if they lose out, they're guaranteed the 2 spot. If someone loses or someone wins that shouldn't, one is very doable right now for the team. So that's good. Like,
Well, the question I have is this: is if say we do something fucking weird, say we accidentally beat Cincinnati or so like towards the end of the season, say we steal one of these games and we end the season with a 4-win season, say we get pick 4. Can you look at this Browns team and go, it makes a lot of sense to trade both first round picks to move up to 1 to take Mendoza? I don't think you
yeah,
can. I don't think the line plays well enough to warrant ignoring that in the first round. You could take a receiver in the first round. I feel like we could be in a situation where we get left high and dry when the draft comes around as far as the quarterbacks go, where next year it might be Dylan Gabriel, Shador, maybe a vet, vying for the job
Watson's on the
again.
team next year. He's on the team next year, doesn't?
Yeah, so
I
it'll be
mean,
Deshaun.
That's
It'll be
what hey, it's
Deshaun.
Yeah.
going to be said. Why you guys keep? I was gonna interrupt and let you guys cook. You talking about all this quarterback talk? You just gotta accept the fact that you got Sanders and Watson next year, baby.
but maybe like the Browns, people think the Browns have drafted a ton of quarterbacks. They've only drafted one top 5 like since '99, and that was Baker. So like if they want to take a swing, I'm all for it because I think you have to. Like that's just where they're at. And I know they're not a quarterback away, but once you hit on that quarterback, nothing else matters.
You ain't
Like you
hitting on these
figure you
quarterbacks though,
figure
bro. There ain't
you
no
figure the
way.
rest out.
I love Dante
Um,
Moore too with the rest of them. There's no way though you hit on one of these if
and
he ain't
then
hitting already.
PJ, like you were saying too, it also depends on who the fuck's the coach. Like if we hire some offensive guru, you think he's going to come in here and you think they're going to hire somebody that says, I like Shadur Sanders tape a lot this season. I hope they don't. Like, I want them to hire
They still
somebody that
gotta
just
fire the
likes the
boy.
fucking
You know
quarterback.
what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Mike LaFleur, Clint Kubiak would spit in your fucking face for even suggesting that. that they would take over the Browns and be stuck with these guys. Like, and as
Yeah.
well as I do that when that new coach comes in, that's the first thing they get is a shiny new quarterback. And
Yep.
that's what both of those guys would want. Like two of the guys I'm looking at possibly as being like Browns coaches next year, Kubiak, and then Mike LaFleur. Both of them are going to want a quarterback out the gate. So whether you get the one you want or you get scraps, you get Watson and Shador,
I think
what it is.
Watson's going to be the one that can make a good OC delusional. I think that if they catch him at a workout, have that one slide conversation, because it sounds like the dude's a different guy every time anybody talks to him. And he could, because what are you going to say? You're going to say that, it sounds crazy. I know Watson sucks, but you're going to say you're going to get a guy like Moore when you have a Watson and you just need picks around him. Don't mean you stay with him, but like a project's a project. And like, I don't know, like after a while, like there's just no quarterbacks out there like there used to.
But a 20-year-old project's a lot different than a 30-year-old project.
Hey, I see a 20-year-old on the team. I was like, oh baby, come on. Now I'm trolling. But at the same time, like you guys are just that's a tough path in general. I mean, look what the Saints are doing. Like the Saints, I love what the Saints are cooking with. I really do. I think they're exciting to watch. We'll get to like the regular scores with them with the Panthers. But they got their little quarterback in the first 3 rounds. Like I just think like you're gonna see a lot of like, I don't know, isn't it weird? Like the quarterback talent is ass cheeks right now in such a passing college football environment. It really is. It's so intriguing. Like it's so crazy how much different Mendoza looks on tape just by slinging the ball a 5-yard route compared to anybody else.
Dude, he reminds me of Goff. Honest to God. And honestly, in the Brown, like I used to clown Goff. But you would take Goff in a fucking heartbeat. And that Mendoza is like we said, he's a football nerd, but maybe that's what they need is just some guy that, hey, his only personality is fucking playing football.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Maybe that would just be great for this fucking locker room, no matter who the coach is. Maybe that's what we need. Just a guy that's just, hey, this guy's going to go home. You're never going to hear about him. He's going to have boring interviews. He's a fucking weirdo, but it's like, hey, maybe that's what they need. Maybe they don't need a superstar, like attitude.
That's what happened. That's what happened with the Niners. I mean, low key with Brock Purdy's a great example. Like we tried flashing around these big names. Jimmy was a name. Even with the Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick days, like really trying to figure out something, and like then you figure it out with just a kid that wants to be there, and like that can make. And then the whole organization's crumbling around it sometimes with the injuries. But if you have that one cat, you'll be nice. That's why I like Goff, baby, because he's the one that steers the ship. And I feel bad for him, bro, because sometimes like you'll see fucking Dan Campbell call something, and you look at fucking his face, and Goff's like, "What the fuck are we doing?" But you can see it
for a second, Jack. Just look into our fandom from the outside. Look into the Browns fandom. So we have a quarterback on the roster that fucking tore his Achilles brutally and got booed off the field while he was on the cart. His cap hit for 2026 is like $80 million fucking dollars. If he can stand vertically and catch the snap, he's fucking playing. Yep. That's not lost on me. I can dream and I can, look to the heavens and ask for a quarterback.
I don't think so with the new coach, though. I don't think so with the new coach.
It's a business, dog. If they paying him 80 M's, that motherfucker's playing.
Okay, then what coach is going to come here when Jimmy Haslam tells him that Deshaun Watson's starting? Like, what are we talking about then?
Do you want my early prediction?
No, that means Kevin's staying. I'm telling you, no, that means Kevin's staying.
Yeah.
If Jimmy Haslam's dead set on Watson playing next season, that means Kevin's staying.
I think you guys are talking about the actual stirring pot that's happening right now. That's like that's what they are trying to fix.
Because there's no way
because it's broken right now.
There's no way you go to a head coaching shirt to be like, oh, hey, by the way, you got to play Watson. They'd all be like, okay, yeah, okay.
What if Kevin's been saying that to Haslam this whole time? He goes, who are you going to fucking hire, bucko? You're the one that wanted that kid. I didn't want him. What'd I tell you? You're stuck with me because I got to coach his ass. And he's got like a bottle of scotch in the locker room, like just pissed off.
Like my least favorite thing about Kevin, like throughout the years, has been that he gets up to the press like podium and fucking insults my intelligence. Yeah. Don't fucking blow smoke up my ass. When Watson, there was a play where Deshaun Watson threw the ball backwards. He literally threw the pass backwards.
Triple option. Dude.
This motherfucker has the gall, the triple option, baby. He's got the fucking gall to get up after that game and say, we're going to stick with Deshaun. He gives us the best chance to win. Don't fucking insult me. So, like, as much as I, like, fantasize about better days, you're probably right. If Kevin is going to stay, it's going to be a lot of the same shit. They're going to play Deshaun, and it's going to be the fake smiles, and he gives us the best chance to win. And, you know, maybe after that, maybe when we get out of the Deshaun contract fiasco, you know, maybe that's when it'll change. But fuck, if that's the hand of cards we're getting dealt as Browns fans, next year is going to be a fucking drag.
Yeah, you need to do what we just said earlier. I'll end it with this. Fire everybody. Throw the rookies and the young guns and Myles Garrett and just a few others in a fucking old fucking gym together like Hoosiers. Tell them what happened. You guys are the only ones that work for the Cleveland Browns right now. And we're going to figure this out, boys. Everyone in this room is going to figure this out. Let us worry about the rest. Look around each other. This is what we got. Everyone's out. So-and-so, your buddies, call them, the ladies, the people, your trainers, everyone the fuck's out the building. You keep the fucking homeboys around, and then you let it rip from there. Go Browns. That's how you do it. Just let it rip. Tear from the out. You guys got good rookies, though, so, like, there is a future there. It's just that's where it gets gray with the coaching because the argument's there for the future. And that always cripples certain organizations. Sometimes it's like the Lions where like they have a future still, even if they don't make the playoff. They have spots they want to fill, so they see it. You kind of have the opposite effect with the Browns where like the future kind of becomes like a mirage that tricks you out.
That's where if the Watson contract, you can get out of it next year. If that was this offseason, I think the whole Browns fan base would feel a lot better because of the way the rookies have looked. And it's like, okay, so even if, you know, then the Shedeur conversation is easier because there's two open quarterback spots in the roster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe if it was a year later, we'd all feel better with this rookie class and getting out of the Watson contract in the same year, but that's just not the reality of the situation. It will be next year.
Yeah. It's not a transition year yet. You know, those always suck with the NFL teams. You're stuck. Like Keegan's like, I was in purgatory for fucking 15 years in those transition years. Shout out, you know, Coach Schwartz with you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Keegan?
I was gonna ask this. I was gonna say, who, if you guys could think of anybody, who do you think would be or could like use a Deshaun Watson in the league? Like, if you think anybody would be dumb enough to give him a shot and take him off your hands, I was gonna say I feel like maybe somehow the Raiders would do that.
Yeah, that front office, the whole thing, Davis's kid, like the whole thing's like a match made in heaven. They probably can get him for like some type of like cheap in a way because he'll just have money hanging over his head. They know they don't have to pay him. Oh yeah, dude, fill it up, dude. Yeah, and you know what, man? Give me the fucking Niners love. Hey, Colin Kaepernick took a knee in a Niners uniform. Shit got popping. Shit got crazy. We can handle controversy. I'm down too. I trust our locker room. I do. I think we can fix a man like that. I trust our locker room. You know what? You saw that video of Fred Warner kicking fucking pads and shit, doing flips. Try to pull that shit around him. Fucking Watson, get in place. You know what? You're not going to talk crazy to Boza. We all know you ain't going to act nuts in the locker room. You're going to shut up. You're going to put your shoulder pads on, and you're going to watch little Brock Purdy start for your football team, and then you're going to win us a Super Bowl. And I get to talk to my Browns fans and my friends about it. But no, the Raiders. It'd be the Raiders. It'd be someone stupid. Miami even. It'd be something dumb. It's whoever wants to be able to pay him and not face the consequences that has to start a quarterback. And he probably has to play for somebody that plays similar as him. So, and I don't know if he can run anymore. Wasn't he dancing off the Achilles? Like, they don't even know how that motherfucker hurt himself. Like, he was dancing and shit, made it worse. That's awful. Man. You know, and everyone was bitching about having LeBron James in Cleveland. Be careful what you wish for, dude. So you know what I mean? Man, let's push forward real quick. Different things. We'll be quick. Falcons beat the Buccaneers. The woes for the Bucs. I think that's an organization that we keep saying it, but I just feel bad. And those games get close. Falcons are oddballs, right? That's a weird team. Ravens give it to the Bengals. Everyone talking about Joe Burrow, man. He's sad. To be honest with you, I'm getting pissed at people for how they're looking at this. They're acting like he's whining or pouting. And you know what? Like, we from Ohio, baby. These competitive dudes from Ohio are, like, deranged. And they connect their mental health to it. And that's why, like, Ohio is just a dangerous place in general. We're competitive by everything, no matter what it is. There's trailer park dudes fighting about their old lady right now because they're competitive about it. They ain't letting it go. They're going to win. That's Joe Burrow right now. He's from Athens. He's losing games. He has fans in his family, childhood people that are Bengals fans, and he has his boys there, and he wants it. People are like, "Oh, like what'd you expect? Look what happened to the team." I'm like, dude, you know what? Like he wanted his boys back. And I think he probably feels responsible for that too. He's probably had conversations with people and with the coaching staff. And also, like, look how he's reacting to Coach Taylor right now. Like, he's yelling at that motherfucker. Like, he's straight up like, he's, oh, it'll be okay, Joe. We played well. He goes, no, fuck that. Like, that's, like, and that's what's happening right now. I feel bad for him. Like, I know some people are acting like he's power. I mean, hell, I even call it, like, guys like Pat McAfee. I don't like the way they're doing it. I think, like, I always think it's a fine line, man. I'm not going to be the mental health guy. You know what I mean? I'm a comedian. I say wild shit. But, like, when you see a fucking man up there struggling, I'm not the type of dude that just like be like, oh man, yeah, look, he's making so much money, he should wipe his tears with his cash. Fuck that, bro. He's a Ohio kid playing for Ohio team. Oh, the hometown hero thing wore off. No, fuck that too. That's why he's crying about it. The hometown hero does cry for his hometown. Like, fuck that shit. I'm standing up for Joe Burrow. I hope it all works out. I think if he was healthy all year, that team wins a lot of those close games in general. They're a continuity team. They need to fucking flow. I don't know. I feel bad. Ravens are balling though. Eagles, Raiders, ugly. God, there's some ugly games, a lot of goose eggs. At least the Browns avoided that. I thought the Eagles annoyed me with them celebrating after every touchdown because I'm like, you're playing against the Raiders, dude. What are you doing? I watched you get fucking mauled by some good teams recently, and you out here fucking dancing on the Raiders. And Genty, you know what? I'll take back some of the mean shit. I wanted him to have a rough season to prove a point. I didn't want this. All right? I just want to make sure that's clear. You two love the guy. I didn't want this.
I read something this morning that was about Genty and Judkins. They both have the lowest amount of yards before they get hit. Genty's is like 1.2 yards before he faces contact, and Judkins is like 1.4 yards before they face contact.
Shout out Judkins, dude. That's making the best of those.
That's the thing with Genty to me is like when you watch him play, if you watch that game, like if he had the line to just get to the second level, he'd be deadly. You can tell every run when he gets to the second level, he'll fucking baptize a linebacker or one cut and make somebody miss. But he's getting hit in the backfield. It looks like a Pop Warner game. Like the kid, like they don't know, like they literally don't know how to block. It is so rough to watch. He might, if I wasn't a Browns fan, I would feel for Genty like just as much as I would feel for the Browns fan base.
100%, dude. It's sad. Like, that's a sad thing. I didn't want that. I just wanted to prove a point that he ain't going to go out here for, 1,300 yards and that shit. Like, I just wanted him, you know what I mean? Like, give him a nice solid 880. You know what I mean? Like, with, maybe 9 touchdowns. That's what I wanted for the boy. But nah, man. I hope that changes. The Raiders are a dumpster fire. Texans, Cardinals. Man, Texans are eating. They really are. And, like, their defense is eating. And they're just eating. Cardinals, man, that's another organization. It's interesting at this time of year. Some organizations lie down and take their blows. And that's what you're seeing right now. Draft picks, baby. Chargers, Chiefs, Patty Mahomes, it's done. It's toast. It's toast. I will first say I think it's dorky to compare him to Tom Brady with this situation. Tom Brady tore his shit like 5 seconds into the first game of the year. Oh, it's the same thing. I'm like, no, Tom would have balled before that. Pat was kind of buns. Everyone's hurt though. Some of those hits, man. He's throwing fucking murder balls, bro. He's fucking throwing some fucking slants, getting these dudes rocked. I'm like, bro, that ain't Tyreek Hill. I don't care how fast worthy them are, bro. You better fucking stop. Like, you're gonna kill somebody. And I talk shit about Travis sometimes. I do like the boy. I always have. And man, sometimes he throws the ball to him. I'm like, bro, do you realize Travis is an old man, Pat? And then also, like, I will say, like, that hit, like, seems so unnecessary in a way. I'm not soft like that. Like, he's going to wrap up and gator roll. But it's just such an unfortunate situation to tear your shit like that at the end of a game. You're playing for kind of impossible odds. You had to win out with so many other things around you to go right. Nothing around you actually went right. Shout out to fucking Chris Jones sitting up there acting like they still had a chance. And they're like, no, you're eliminated. He goes, damn. You know what I mean? Like that. Hey, way to keep the poker face all the way through. That boy's media trained to the max, dude. He sat up there and goes, "Hey, we still got to find chance." No, you don't. Playoffs. You know what I mean? Like that ain't happening.
Well, like think about this. Like I saw somebody say with Mahomes' knee, like the average recovery time is 9 to 10 months, which is going to take them into like September next year.
I
So you're
saw
going to have,
somebody said he didn't tear it all the way. That's why he's able to get surgery like yesterday, was because he
oh,
didn't
no
tear it all
shit.
the way through. So I was gonna add that anyway because I follow that Twitter account that's like only about ACLs. And
Yeah.
apparently his was like one of the ones where like if you do tear it, be happy it happened this way and not the other way because it's a lot quicker recovery time. So most of the people right now are saying they think he's back by week 1 because like he just didn't tear it all the way.
No shit. That's what I was worried
Yeah.
about is I was like, dude, how are the Chiefs going to look going through training camp and OTAs and the preseason and the first games of the season without Pat? That's the first time since they drafted him,
And the
that
weird
they've
part
been
is
without him.
they almost have bigger issues. Like they
Yeah.
have like, an old coach. Like is he, every Andy Reid's kind of like each year you question it. The team has a lot of holes on it, obviously. Travis Kelce's, he actually, like, I know he's getting a lot of shit. If you actually look, he was, like, leading the team in, like, all reception stats. Also
Mhm.
shows you how bad the receivers were, though. So it's, like, kind of a double-edged sword there. It's like, man, like, what a hard time to try to rebuild with some old fuckers. And I don't know. It's not looking good for them because, I mean, as the Chargers keep growing, other teams are growing. Look at the Broncos. We'll get to them in a second. Like, there's not a lot of time. NFL's not kind if you need a second. Sometimes
No.
those next years just rip you apart. And I hope people really understand this is why the Patriots were great. And this is why I know I'm not going to get my Tom Brady rant, but this is why I used to, real heavies. This is part of why Bill Belichick was great.
Yep.
It was Tom Brady leading the train. Everyone knew that. And they had complimented each other. Bill Belichick couldn't have been the way he was without Tom Brady being there. Tom couldn't be as consistent without Bill. That's the way it works. But this shows you that Bill, man, when you go through that turnover and you bank on certain players and you have injuries and you handpick people. Hell, remember when Bill Belichick was on his fucking tear picking up people that were like getting in legal problems and they would ball
Mhm.
out for him? Like that was his thing. He's LeGarrette Blount, this guy. Like he was just like this kind of shows why that's so important. And like, I wish Andy Reid was a little bit younger throughout this dynasty. Like just a little bit. They kind of missed each other's kind of mark at the same time. I just hope people understand it. Like it's hard to do this. And if the Chiefs don't really win ever again, which I doubt that they will, this was one of the best dynasties of all time. You can't say it wasn't. Like straight up.
Mhm.
Like just it really was. Anyways, speaking of just dynasties and the Patriots, man, close game against the Bills. That was electric. I think Patriots are for real, boys. I really do. And I think the Bills are just a weird team also. Like, let's not act like they're world beaters this year, but that division's healthy right now with those guys
Isn't that
just
their
balling.
third like 20-point comeback this season, the Bills? Haven't they had like 3 games where they come back from 20 points down and won? I think they've had 3 games this year where they were down like that and came back and won.
I believe it with Allen, bro. They got him thrown up on the sidelines and shit. He says he does it every game. Like, bro, when you have a guy like that who's that nervous to get ready to play, not nervous, but has those fucking guts with the whole thing, and he's a fucking superstar, getting
And they
married
got to
to
be,
superstars.
dude, with knowing the Chiefs aren't in it, they got to be licking their fucking chops for the playoffs right now because they're just like, hey, the fucking person we couldn't get by is not going to be there. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
it's so surreal with them and the Ravens being questionable. Ravens are balling; they can
yeah,
get a spot, but like still, like those are the two
yeah.
teams they were probably eyeing out all year. And now they got to go
Hmm.
against the Patriots in their own division like this. Man, I want to see the Patriots Bills rerun that shit in the playoff. I do.
Mhm.
I thought about that the whole time. Speaking of playoff teams, baby, Duval. Man, I've been working on a little clip that I'm gonna release if they fucking get a good playoff win, and if they don't, I'm still gonna fucking show you guys of TJ's rant about the Jaguars sucking before the draft on his first episode. Just because it's just perfect. Because like there's little literal highlights that you can watch of the Jaguars that they just are doing what they've never done before. And like the rant was perfect timing for TJ at the moment, but now it's the complete opposite. What a turnaround for the Jags. Straight up. And I know it's just the Jets, but the Jags lose games like this. You know what I'm saying? They do. Like that's just what happens. Now here fucking it's the one time, man. I thought Stroud was giving me points on fantasy. I said, you know what, Trevor Lawrence, you helped me out because I messed up and was watching Notre Dame during my draft. You know what I mean? So I got Trevor Lawrence. but anyways, like man, he balled out. Commanders, Giants. That was a fun game. Commanders on top. Giants are gonna. I wish they were healthy too, man. When I'm watching that close game, I just wish that. In the Commanders too. Like we're talking about two really hurt teams that were really Giants no pun intended, of the NFL that like could be giant
Mhm.
brands. Shout out my boy Phillip. Phillip Rivers always threw with the Nemo arm. He always has. But when he fucking was out there, bro, looking thick, looking like me at a Thanksgiving turkey bowl, ready to
Did you
go
see that
out
video of
there.
his high school team watching him? That was pretty dope. His high school
Dude.
team all got together and watched the game together, like at a watch party. And like his
Yeah.
first completion, they just went fucking crazy. I was like, that's fucking awesome, dude.
Electric, bro. And
He
even
looks like an offensive guard.
dude. I saw a bunch like you can make your players thick and Madden and like NCAA. Like people are all doing that now with their guys, like make it look cool, dude. You know what, man? He represented, man. That's fucking. What's the guy from Replacements? Fucking.
Oh God! I'll find it.
Not Flacco. Fucking Falco. Fucking.
Falco.
Dude.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking of out there.
Shane Falco.
Yeah, dude, Ohio State legend.
I was about to say from Ohio State.
What were you gonna say, TJ?
Bro, I love seeing Phil out there. Oh, Uncle Phil, no Fresh Prince out there, man. I know Phil is loud as shit when he rolls out of bed in the morning, man. You know those dad noises? They're like, when he gets out, man. You know why his release is so quick, man? Because his old ass, he take that Miralax. You hit him, he'll shit his pants, man. You be careful. Phil was out there in the double XL jersey, man. Uncle Phil was thicker than the glass at the zoo. God damn, he was slinging that motherfucker, though. Shout out Phillip, man. Not many people could do it, man. We had a grandfather throwing tugs in the NFL, bro. I can't believe it, man. Uncle Phil, man, he's going home and laying the wood, man. He's giving his missus a 10th kid, dog.
He said one of the reasons he did it, or one of the big reasons he's happy about playing against, because I think his youngest is a 6-year-old. His youngest asked him, he's like, Dad, you were a football player? He's like, yeah. So he's like, so it's kind of cool that like he gets to see me play and actually he'll know that I actually did this for a living at some point.
Dude, him and Joe Flacco doing the same, they both like, that's awesome. Like, cause he kind of said the same thing when he was playing. He's like, man, they didn't know I was good. I had to show them.
Yeah.
You know how Phillip Rivers is just so competitive, bro. Dang nabbit, yelling all that shit out there. And you know what, man? I really wanted them to win because when they hit that field goal and they panned to him on the sideline, he was running his mouth. This is what I do. I was like, dude. And can you imagine that being your coach or like your buddy's dad? Like, You know what I'm saying? Like you're a little kid and like, I can imagine watching like Keegan, watching Bill out there. Just, you know what, boys? Detroit needs me tonight. Like, he goes out there, even if he loses, but he led him on a game-winning drive. And like he like already had a crazy amount of game-winning drives. The fact he's about to stack another one, you know what? Give him first ballot now, bro. I know he was questionable before. I say you just let it rip. He's gonna score a couple more touchdowns. You give him that fucking shit. Man, he also shows you how good Brett Favre was. Brett Favre went out there like that. He was slinging that.
The thing that I wonder about most is how fucking awesome does Phillip Rivers have to be for him to have like 6 days and then come in and can call the plays. If he's like, the play calls in the NFL are ridiculous.
Yeah.
X go, spider, Y2, banana, on 3, whatever the fuck. They got these long ass play calls. For Phillip Rivers to come in 6 days and then he can go into the huddle and the guys understand what he's saying is so fucking out of my scope of fucking brain power. I can't understand how that's even possible.
And he's called audibles too, and he was having late snap counts at the 1 second mark, 2 second mark, as if he was just on that team forever.
Do you think they tried to give him a wristband and he's like, no wristband, I don't need it.
It's a little tight. It's a little tight. It's a little tight on my forearms are a little thick right now.
Hey, Phillip Rivers is only about 500 yards from passing Big Ben on the all-time passing leader list too. For the
top 10, man. He's on top. Yeah, he's gonna say he's top 10 in almost every category, dude. He was balling. Only the real ones know, man, when he first started with that little visor, too, with San Diego, dude. Just fucking hit a little visor with the wristband.
The face mask that was like this fucking big.
Just out there fucking
only covered his nose.
He always threw like that. Man, like, I remember watching him throw when I was a kid, and I was like, I fucking damn near throw like that, bro. Damn, like.
It looks like it hurts.
That's what his elbow, bro. Like they gotta do some magic on that. Whatever he got going, they need to teach MLB guys how to do it because his elbow should be broken. Like they always talk about, like protect your elbow, protect your shoulder. He said, "Fuck it, yeah, I pick up kids with this arm. Yeah, I hold my babies." Oh, shout out Phil Rivers, dude. I loved it. And going against Seattle. Seattle's on fire. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of, good games, Broncos, Packers, electric. I know Keegan was talking about the injury. That does suck for Michael Parsons in general. I think it's always cursed when guys get some traction. You know what I mean? And like it just shows you how much health is such a rare thing. Bo Nix out there balling, looking good. He's kind of came around. I remember we wanted him to come around in the beginning. And we're like, Bo, what you doing? And he's really came around. I think him and Sean Payton really found their mesh, dude. Like they're gonna be dangerous for a long time. They're one of those teams that like maybe it's not now, but them and the Patriots are gonna run that shit back like it's 2012 type shit. You know, like the old days, 2011. Um, Panthers, Saints, electric. I don't know what it is, man. I love watching Saints football this year. Every game feels like a crazy college football game. I don't know. It's wild, dude. And they're out there just pure fucking octane. It was just, you can tell the Panthers weren't keeping up. Some pretty balls, though, by Bryce Young. That little dude can throw a fucking football. He really can. If he had Phillip Rivers fucking throwing, like, mechanics, I don't think he'd get it over the line. Oh, man. Speaking of weird short dudes, I don't know if he's short, but to me he is. Maybe it's like a Steph Curry thing. But no way with the Vikings, dude. Fucking McCarthy out there. Man, shutting the Cowboys up. You know, it just really shows you just how good the Vikings are with a mid quarterback. Like, if they had a really good quarterback, that team would be one of the scariest. Like, we talk about that a lot with this division. Like, it's just, they're that good all the way around. And I think it's funny. People are like, oh, Justin Jefferson's brother was a quarterback because they were talking about that. I'm like, yeah, bro. He played in the goddamn fucking national championship game against Alabama and got his shit rocked. You guys don't know that? Like, ball knowledge, the lack of it out there is just, it's gross. It's gross. Couldn't be us, right, boys? Couldn't be us. Steelers, Dolphins. Hey, Perk Rogers, my favorite spirit animal in this world. I will die on a fucking hill, bro. That Perk Rogers is the best quarterback of all time. Like that dude out there was smiling. I love when he stands out there doing the little sheriff thing for these fucking fourth downs. I know you guys are Browns fans and it's the Steelers, but man, Perk Rogers out there having a blast, bro. He's out here vibing. He's hugging teammates. He's smiling during interviews. Like some of the shit I'm watching, like comedy sketches, are making me lose my mind. I'm laughing so hard because he's just so happy. He said, "We're gonna win the fucking Super Bowl, boys." Like he didn't care. That boy's high as a kite, balling. Dolphins, like, they didn't play as well. Of course, they don't play well in the cold. But I'll continue to say, man, cool story. I like watching the pregame before this for some reason, and just seeing like how the Dolphins came back after just being ass cheeks. And I don't know, that McDaniel interview. I don't know if you guys saw that when he was kind of like shivering in his boots up there, fucking talking. He still looked cold. I'm like, dude, this guy a fucking blanket. You know what I mean? Put him in a goddamn tanning bed right now. He's not in Miami. It's fucking freezing out here. Jesus Christ, it was cold everywhere. I think Baltimore had the coldest kickoff in like Baltimore history for a football game. 7 degrees, fucking kickoff, dude. Electric. You guys got anything though regarding any games you watched, anything you saw, any current topics before we swiftly move forward and close this beautiful day out?
You guys want the current playoff picture real quick? I got to
Yeah,
pull
we'll do
up.
it quick. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the 2-1 seeds are Denver and the Rams, obviously. And then the wild card games would be Houston at New England, Buffalo at Jacksonville, the Chargers at Pittsburgh. And then the NFC side would be Green Bay at Chicago, San Francisco at the Eagles, and Seattle at Tampa Bay.
First, I don't like that. I don't like that at
Being
all.
at Philly?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Like we gotta have so many like health things to get to that point still. Like I'm still holding my breath with CMC. No, I'm not at all. It would be cool revenge though to see them ball out. I always think about that ever since they got us with Brock Purdy going down, see him get his revenge game. I do love that AFC bracket though. I think those are electric games. I think even the Jags and Bills would be cool. Chargers, Steelers seem very relatable in a weird way. That'd be cool. Um, I don't know if there's gonna be there's a lot of changes already, but I don't think there's gonna be a lot of changes. I think the teams that are riding right now are riding, and the rest of the schedules for everyone look kind of weird and like very divisional and stuff, and like kind of predictable. And as you were saying, like even the shit teams are all playing against each other, so like I think we'll find out a lot more in the next couple of weeks of which teams really can play well against good teams, because it's the NFL. Everyone's good, everyone sucks. Um, do you guys have anything with that with the playoff bracket? Fuck, Keegan's like the Lions aren't in it. I'm pissed.
Oh, I'm sick, dude. Freaking, it sucks. It just sucks because It's out of our hands. It just sucks that it's out of our hands, man. We have to bank. We have to win our 3 games, and then we have to either bank on freaking Packers losing their game. Which let me tell you, I know they out of the next 3 games coming up, they got the easier schedule going on, and then Bears. We got to hope that they lose to the Packers and freaking then maybe get a shot at them in the last season game right there, and then maybe sneak in. But God, man, it just sucks. I really don't think it's going to happen, and I just think it's going to slowly unfold that I see us not make the playoffs. It's going to be like the last fucking game too, so it's just going to hurt even more. Just see it right at the end and be like, oh, you guys are going to the playoffs.
Everything played out, and then
everything played out. Like
Campbell goes for 4,
goes Bears, for 4 down. The Packers have good enough schedule that they're still getting in, and yeah.
You know what? I want to say by my heart, I'm glad a little bit because, like I said, I don't want to play the Eagles. I wouldn't even want to play the Lions, no matter how they've looked this year. They're too fast for what the Niners got going on injury-wise. But God damn it, give me the Bears. I don't care. I know they're cooking, but give me the goddamn Bears. I know what this shit's about. I'm a Niners fan. I've watched more playoff games as a fan than most people get to ever. And that ain't happening. And give us the Packers. Oh, love that. I'm like undefeated against the Packers. We whoop their ass every year, wipe them clean. Man, give it to me. Give it to me. I think the champion will come out of the NFC side regardless. I really do. I just don't think the AFC's got enough thunder and lightning at the top. I love the Broncos and shit, but they just ain't winning like that. And, Ravens just weren't like that. And Steelers ain't like that. And San Diego, fucking LA. They ain't like that. What do you guys think, though? Do you think there is an AFC team to look out for that could really win this whole thing?
I'll be honest, if they get momentum, and I know this is going to sound crazy, Buffalo, dude. If Josh Allen starts going crazy in the playoffs, fucking look out for him to win a Super Bowl. I really do. Freaking, I just got that feeling with him. If there's a time to do it, it's this year. So freaking, yeah, I would look out for the Bills.
I like that. I think that's what Eric was pointing at earlier, too. Like he's licking his chops. No Chiefs, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just ball out, play. Hope you get some. They just won't get a lot of home field advantage. That's where I want to see how that works out for them. Like, I don't think they're going to be playing in Buffalo much, so like that can make a big deal. What do you think, TJ? You got any dark horses in this race?
I don't know, man. I like Denver. I really like Denver, and I think as the season kind of goes on and the playoff picture starts to develop, I like them more and more. Because there's some things at play, man. Denver's a cold city. They got the altitude. God forbid, one of these teams from the South, like say Jacksonville's got to go play Denver or something like that. Like that's a big difference flying from Duval to go play the fucking Broncos at Mile High, in the snow. So I'm just really interested, and I think they're grinders, man. I think they're a team that can really wear you down. I kind of slept on RJ Harvey, but I watched that game and he's a damn good player, man. He's a great weapon for that team. So yeah, let's go Broncos in the AFC, man. I don't believe in the Bills. I don't think down the stretch. I don't think I think they're great playing with the lead, but I think having to come from behind potentially in a game, I don't know if they have the firepower for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll counteract the Broncos. I want to like the Broncos, but like you roll that coin and roll that dice and win these close games. And you try doing that in the cold, and like I know you're saying they'll play a home field advantage, which will be huge. I love Denver home games, right? But those little mistakes catch up, and you ain't gonna get that field goal. You ain't gonna get that last second timeout. You ain't gonna get that last second drop or fourth down stop or whatever.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of what happened to the Lions the one year when we had the big run and like kept winning and comeback games and stuff like that. By the time we got to the playoffs, it kind of seemed like that just ran out. Like we just couldn't keep doing it anymore.
Yeah, you run into a team that doesn't make any mistakes, and now you're down 10 points in the playoffs. And I think once I forget the stat, but like if you're down over 10 in the playoffs in the NFL, it's almost like impossible to like come back. Like I think the Chiefs are the only ones to like do it in the Patriots to do it in a Super Bowl, like more than 10. Like so, like it's I don't know. I always like seeing how that plays out, like which teams can be comfortable enough to win, but also like that's why I like the Rams. I think the Rams overall, like no bias intended, they're the favorites. Yeah. I think it's just that needs to be tossed up regardless. And if Matt Stafford doubles up, dude, man, give me Matt Stafford, Phillip Rivers, Super Bowl. No, I'm just That'd be electric. Oh my god! All right, next week though we will talk college football stuff. We'll see the games. We'll do all this and that. Thank you everyone that was listening and watching. We will go over the scores. Hopefully we get a couple upsets. I hope not. Go Irish. You got to prove a point here. I'll be watching with some certain pair of glasses on, the hater shades. You know what I mean? We also got some good NFL football always cooking. I'm more and more excited to get into these next couple of weeks, get through this season, see what playoff situations are happening. Because right now we're at a stalemate. There's a lot of hoping, there's a lot of dread, but there's also a lot of this. You know what I mean? Like I feel high and mighty right now. Who's to say I feel like shit in a couple of weeks? And Keegan's over here like, damn, boys, we might do it. Like you never know. The 1% chances. I always think of the Giants with Eli Manning. They had like no chance to make the playoff, let alone win the Super Bowl against the best team. This is the NFL, baby. It's electric. College, fix the first round. If it's the college football playoff, I want to see some crazy games. I want to see big games, big teams go at it. I hope Miami and Texas A&M is a good game. I'd like to remind you boys, Miami plays in the ACC. I don't see it happening, but that's just me. We'll go over all that shit. I will be plugging in more and more stuff. January 3rd, I'll be at the Attic for the championship round of the champions from this past year. For the big cash contest. The champions of champions. Your boys got a lot of other shit cooking too. Almost too much. I'm starting to get a little stressed out, but we're excited. We're excited, boys. We are. I love the saying, you don't get anxious for just anxious shit. You get anxious because you get excited, bro. I'm just trying to see what the future holds. But I'll be there doing that. Also, catch me at the Attic, just around town, baby, performing, running the DJ room, doing everything like that every Friday, every Saturday. Fucking cooking. Gonna be out there with the best of the best, having a good time. So make sure you guys come out and make sure you do your thing. You boys got anything else before we cut this line?
Yeah, man. Shout out John Cena, man.
Oh yeah,
shout out John Cena for the one time, man. Shout out John Cena, man.
I just want to say, man, for all the haters out there, the situation. If you look at what just happened tonight with Gunther, he got booze out the ass. WWE needs a heel. I may not agree with it, but also do your research. Every superstar loses in a shit way. I mean, I wish it would have been more electric, like Shawn Michaels when he took Ric Flair out. That was just awesome, right? Like he said, I'm sorry, took his ass out, and then Ric Flair just came back as an old man. It's also WWE. John Cena still has a contract with them as an ambassador. You're gonna see him cooking. He may not be wrestling, but you know how Stone Cold shows up randomly on an ATV and wrecks it into somebody because he did that. He did that this past year. They should not let that old man drink and drive out there. But he'll be doing some shit like that. Shout out John Cena. I wasn't even a John Cena fan, but shout out John Cena. Ruthless aggression. I love that. But here we are from the deep.